Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 70 for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Marty Sleever here, joined by Casey Wosu, Nick Calandra, and producer Eric. And this is just a nice, clean episode. We only got two topics to talk about. Yesterday's big old Sony PlayStation State of Play showcase, which those things, State of Play is a very good name until you add a modifier to it, and then it becomes like you add the word PlayStation to it, and then you're saying State and Play again, and it just it's a great name until you try to change it. So maybe I shouldn't have changed it. So we'll be chatting about our impressions from that, as well as the big story right now. Switch 2 is here. 2/3, I guess 1/2 of the show, counting Eric, has a Switch 2. We'll see if you can guess which two, and we'll tell you our stories of how we got them. I'm going to be honest, I killed an old lady. Didn't even have a Switch 2. Just the blood was
Were you just awarded one afterwards?
She was committing a crime. It's fine. It's fine.
Casey and I didn't hear that. We're not accomplices to anything.
No, everyone's guilty, including chat, especially anyone with a crown by their name. So sucks to be you guys.
The crowns are the most guilty.
If we learned anything today, the crowns are coming down. And yeah, great to see so many familiar faces in the YouTube chat, members of the Green Gang, and folks who support us on Patreon. And remember, we gobbled up some of your comments and questions and prompts today from the Patreon at that $5 tier and above. And so we appreciate y'all helping us put the show together. How are you guys doing? Casey, I guess we could just, without spoiling it too much, you had an eventful last 24 hours in buying hardware in a physical manner.
Yeah, something I don't usually do anymore, but I guess every time a console launch comes around, I never have the sort of luck that gets me a pre-order ahead of time. So yeah. I had the plan. I think I said it here in the past that I had the plan. I'm going to check out a Costco, go super early, and but have an attempt at getting one, because logically it's a little more lock and key than any other big box retailer.
Sure.
And they confirmed that they would have stock in store. So like that was my plan. But then got a random email from GameStop that said, don't have a pre-order. Come in today, like the same day I got the email, which was yesterday, by 3:00. And basically make a pre-order in store. Then you can come back at midnight and pick up your order. So I was like, well, I can give that a try just in case things go awry at Costco.
Sure.
And I did. Didn't realize, because I was planning to get there much earlier. I was on a call or meeting or whatever, wrapped up like right at 2:55, and then there was traffic on the way there. So I got there like 30 minutes late, and it was a long ass line that I showed you guys the picture of. So
in the direct sunlight.
Yeah, oh my God, there was no shade whatsoever. And I was in that line for like a good 2 hours. Just, I might have lost weight waiting in that line. But I got in there. I was number 35 on my ticket. And I came back at midnight. Many more people, but slightly more organized, because they said if you have a number, line up in that number order. And then the store employees just went back inside. So like they literally just left it up to the public to actually try and make sense of it. And
like we the fucking Joker cracking a pool cue and just being like tryouts.
Like pretty much. Like we sort of did though. Like everyone sort of got in the position they were supposed to be, because some folks out there were, let's just say it, they were being a little awkward.
Sure.
Because like number 44 just didn't want to get in his place. So he just hanging out with like in my section, just talking and stuff. As if once he gets in there, like they're not going to tell him to turn around, because other people tried it earlier.
Sure. Yeah.
And they did get turned around. So at that point, I didn't care anymore, because I got in, I got my Switch.
Beautiful.
I went home. But still had the Costco plan in the background. Went to Costco and this is because I overslept. I was planning to go at like maybe 7 a.m. They open at 10. Mm-hmm. I overslept because of hanging out at midnight and whatever. Got there 30 minutes early. No, I'm sorry. Got there an hour early. No one was outside except a single woman. So I just sat in my car. Like, there's no need for me to just be outside.
You think she was there for the Switch, or was she excited to buy one of those like
Switch?
6-gallon things of like peanut butter pretzels?
Like just 8 things
of
milk.
The unassuming ones you have to watch out for.
I'm planning to take a bunch of shits today, so I need a lot of toilet paper.
It was like a middle-aged lady, so like probably not who you would pinpoint as that's the demographic of buying the Switch. But she was standing outside front. I figured she was there for the Switch.
Yeah.
And confirmed it later on. So I waited like another 30 minutes. Then a couple other folks I could see pulling to the parking lot. Then I saw a couple other folks getting out of their cars and walking and getting in line. So I finally got up, waited in line for about 30 minutes behind those folks. They let us in a little bit early as well.
Nice.
They were so much more organized. Like it was like, hey, take this little cardboard cutout and then just head over to register 3. And you went from register 3 to a little room near the back, and they just handed you your stuff when you handed over your cards. And I got an extra Pro controller because it's like $10 cheaper.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, there. I was curious. Let's do the Switch combo first. Since it's obviously the big thing. I'm
just gonna take a nap.
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah. Oh, spoilers. Nick is the one who did not get one. Casey and I are the ones who got one.
I got 2, and 1 is for my child.
Sure, and I have I did 2 online pre-orders. One the day they went up, or the time they went up, I got one from Best Buy. And that one, in my mind, I was like, this is Yahtzee's. Because even if I'm the only one who gets one, I'll mail it to Yahtzee, and he'll be able to do a fully Ramblemanic, summer Ramblemanic, whatever. Like, and that's our breadwinner. Then when Nintendo proper finally emailed me, not like fancy emails, just like Nintendo was like, you are a Nintendo Online member, you can pre-order one. I did one through there, worked perfectly. The Nintendo one arrived at like 7 a.m. this morning, which was great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the Best Buy one is arriving tomorrow. So Yahtzee can wait. I'm gonna be honest. Yahtzee can play this weekend. He's a Monday through Friday Nintendo boy. I'll get it tomorrow. I'll mail it to him. But yeah, unboxed it this morning. Set it up. The sort of the data transfer from my Switch OLED to that was super easy. And then I started to download stuff, and it was like 5.5 hours for Mario Kart. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what? And it's because that's how long games normally take for me. Because I use Wi-Fi, and apparently my Wi-Fi is bad. And so I was like, well, I want to play several games today, and I have so many games to download on Switch. Like, I want to download a bunch of my old games and see how they work. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to figure out, I think I got like a physical landline or something, or like a physical Ethernet cable. Found that, plugged it in my Switch. Let me tell you, when you plug the internet in, you go fast. I don't know if you guys know this. This is a little secret for all you out there. Don't tell your friends. But if you do internet that's plugged in, that shit is lightning fast. I was downloading games left and right. I couldn't even play them as fast as I was downloading them. It was wild. So yeah, I got the router. Honestly, it might be like 15 years old. Yeah, maybe I should get a new router. Did they not have fast internet?
Maybe do that.
Yeah,
I'm watching all my
movies. My Nighthawk is fast as hell.
There's no faster resolution. There's no better resolution than 480i, right? Like that's where we peaked in terms of like movies and stuff. Like that's how.
That is Marty's version of 4K. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, downloaded a bunch of stuff and tried out a bunch of stuff. Casey, did you get to play anything? I mean, obviously you've been working all day, but
yeah, like I've been like too busy to do much. I've been like futzing with it in the background here and there. Sure. I did get the transfer done. If I'm not mistaken, there's like twice as much storage space on the new one than the old one.
Yeah, internally it is 256 gigs.
200. Yeah, which I had a micro SD card in my Switch that was that size.
Sure.
So before the transfer, like I moved all my as much as I could from the card to the Switch proper, and then just did that transfer.
Oh,
but
nice.
That's all like just game stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not like save stuff because that's in the cloud or whatever.
Yeah, and that's relatively
it was pretty
small,
painless. Yeah. So that's pretty painless.
Are you going to get because so that's the one thing that with these is they don't take regular SD cards. You need like micro SD Express, which this is the first thing I've owned that has that. So
did you get one?
No, not yet, because I've also like there hasn't been a lot of like I like going somewhere and being like someone saying this is the best 1 terabyte one you can get. I just want to get one big one and just never worry about it for the next 7 years.
Sure.
But it just feels like because people haven't had the console, like I haven't gotten the wire cutter or like digital found. I haven't had like the nerds haven't told me which one to buy yet. I'm waiting for the nerds to tell me which one to buy. Like
I'm probably not gonna get one because I'm realizing everything that I had on my Switch fits on the new one because there's more space.
Sure, I've filled mine up, but I've also downloaded a shit ton of games because I was like, I want to see what Zelda runs like. I want to see what Smash runs like. I want to see what every Mario game runs like. I want to see what Bayonetta runs like. The Persona games.
Yeah, Smash actually.
I'm not going to need them in a week. I just wanted them right now.
You just want to like test them. Yeah. Smash actually runs faster. Like it's a thing that I tested myself, and I only tested because I was seeing that trending on the internet. But like it loads all the things like. There's a little hitch when you go in the character select screen. There are like 80 something characters. The further away from the beginning you go, if you want to select an alternate outfit, it will literally sit there empty until it loads and then pops in with the picture. That's a thing with the pass now. So that was a $530 something well spent.
Yeah, that's literally how. Like, I'm writing something about this for a video for next week, and I don't know what yet. But my thought was when I started up Breath of the Wild, I was like, oh, this is what this was supposed to be like. This is what they intended this being like in 2017.
Right, yeah.
And my comparison is it doesn't have that. Nothing is revolutionary about this thing. It's not like, holy shit. But to me, it's, you both have glasses. It feels like getting a new pair of glasses with a higher prescription. And everything is just a little clearer. It's a little weird getting used to it at first, right? You're I don't know how, if your guys' eyes, mine just keep getting worse. It's like every 5 years, I'm like, new glasses, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my eyes? But you put them on, it's kind of like jarring at first, and you're very careful with it. I was holding it, and I was being like very precious with my Switch, whereas I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this around eventually. Like the way I treat my regular Switch is like, man, fucking toss it on a couch
in the bathroom while you're taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Feels a little different. But yeah, like I playing Breath of the Wild, I'm like, oh, this is like when I get new glasses, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize like the flowers in my backyard were this color, or like I didn't realize I could read the street sign from over here, like that kind of thing. And that's what it feels like in a nice way. I mean that like positively, because also I played like half an hour of Mario Kart. It was fucking great. Mario Kart's cool.
Yeah, haven't moved that up yet.
I was right there from the get go. The cow's going wild. There's people are like, I'm going into lobbies and it's just 23
it's
people
just all cows.
Yeah, it's good. Listen, we were on the ground floor of those cows when we showed their titties.
I will be the Nintendo cynic, and I'm just waiting for the Switch 2 exclusives to see how they perform before being too excited.
I mean, Mario Kart is one, right?
Yeah,
but that's Mario Kart. I'm talking about like the bigger games.
You're gonna do the Nick thing where you're like, I don't want remasters unless it's these games that I want remasters of. But every other remaster is bad.
To be fair, I'm excited to play Tears of the Kingdom and that stupid Pokemon game at 60 frames and have it be a smooth experience.
Joke's on you. What stupid Pokemon game? They're all stupid.
The extra stupid one.
Yeah, but people were Pokemon Scarlet and Violet runs way better than it did before, and just way more Pokemon appear. Like, you can like run out into a lake and there'll be 30 Pokemon there, and people are like, this literally might change the meta of hunting for shinies because just more Pokemon will exist in your game and you'll be able to get to them quicker.
Like I know there is a whole thing about how developers, like how like the constraints of development breed like innovation, legendary stories of creativity. But
and there's Pokemon.
No, but like when Nintendo hamstrings their own teams in this way, like is that not a thing that maybe they could do less of? Because this has been their consistent strategy, and they are top of the game, so like maybe it just works in this fashion. Sure. But like Pokemon seems like an outlier, I guess, because more often than not, like they kind of still hit their marks. But like stuff like Zelda, which is a big game, Pokemon, which is a big world, they never felt as good as they could have. Like they were doing the best they could on that hardware.
Wind Waker or Breath of the Wild was literally a launch game, like from 2017, right on the Wii U. And this is the first time I'm like, oh, this is kind of like what they had in mind. Like this is the game on their dev kits. This is like what the game is. Yeah, I mean, I guess part of it is like Nintendo for the Switch, and I believe for the Switch too, famously, they sell their consoles at a profit right from the get-go, which is not true of Microsoft and Sony.
I'm just hoping, like, after the newness wears off, that it doesn't feel like they're a generation behind again.
Sure, yeah, because
because we're so used to like really smooth performance now.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I think that's a really safe bet. I guess the one thing that I'm relatively hopeful for is the Switch at its launch immediately still felt kind of old. It was cool because you could have it in your hands, but it was also like kind of rickety. Whereas this doesn't feel rickety right now. Maybe it will 2 years from now, but right now, like apparently people are saying Cyberpunk runs pretty well on it, which I don't know if a game from 4 years ago is a good benchmark, but that's a pretty beefy game that older consoles could not run for a while. Yeah.
It also wasn't like finished, so like even the optimizations for those old consoles weren't like done yet, which is
sure. Yeah, they pulled it from the PS4 store, right? Famously,
right.
Yeah.
So with all of that lead up time in terms of maximizing what they could do, then now the Switch 2 can make it run well. It's almost like if Nintendo had continued to try and keep up with hardware stuff, this is what the first Switch would have been, and we'd be experiencing a entirely different console right about now, or like in a couple years with the other big boys if they stayed in the same cycle.
Sure, yeah. It's an interesting time because it's I don't know, I guess almost similar to the Switch launching in 2017 and then getting the new PlayStation Xbox 3 years later. Like, I expect less than 3 years. I think probably fall 27, I would imagine, is when we're going to get the new consoles. But I also don't know if, like, is the Pro supposed to be a stopgap? Like, no one's talking about a PS4 5 Pro. Nick, you own one, don't you?
Yeah.
Didn't they just go down in price?
I think I've used it like 3 times.
I shouldn't buy one.
No, you should not buy one.
No, don't do that. Please don't.
Should I buy one?
There's
one to use on the small ass
clearly
monitor.
Going to buy
480i monitor.
You can buy mine from me.
No, you probably got peanut butter on it or some weird shit.
Yeah. That portable disk drive just stuck on there with peanut butter, not the clips.
Yeah. I tried out a couple other things. Bayonetta 3, that's 60 frames per second. I think that's the way God intended.
Yeah,
which
not 60 frames.
Nice.
I haven't even opened my copy of that yet.
Yeah. Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, the Zelda Muso game, which did not run well at all when I played through the entire thing. Smooth as butter.
Nice.
And
maybe I'll try that.
I was disappointed by some things. Like I opened up Persona 5, looks smeary on Switch. Like it looks like someone put Vaseline on the screen. And I was like,
on Switch,
maybe
not Switch.
Yeah, on
2.
Switch. Yeah, it looks amazing on PlayStation. And I was like, okay, maybe my new glasses metaphor will work on Persona. And I opened up, it just looked the same smeary Persona. And I'm like, oh, I guess it's like, you can't just like assume there's going to be like a magic fix, because there's like some games they've said like, oh, we douched up, there's almost tiers of them, right? There's like the pay for ones, which are like the Zelda games, and Fantasy Life had like a $2 pay for one.
Switch 2 edition.
Yeah. Then there's the we just did a specific upgrade to it, which like I think Mario Wonder is like that, and ARMS and Link's Awakening and everything. And then there's other games where it's like they didn't mention anything about this, but Bayonetta just runs better. Which is cool. A couple super before we get to the super chats, a couple of the Patreon questions that came in. Inverse Skies, thank you so much, at the $5 tier, said console launches have previously been judged by the strength/breadth of their software at launch. How do you feel that the Switch 2 fares relative to other console launches? So that's Nick. Is that kind of the thing that kept you away? That there was not that one. I mean, Mario Kart aside, there wasn't that one like killer app.
No, there's not a killer app for me that I need to run out and buy one right away.
Do you think Donkey Kong is going to be that for you, or do you think like this fall is going to be that for you with like Metroid? Are you even a big Metroid boy?
No, not really. Yeah, there's nothing in the lineup right now that's like really screaming for me to play it. Out of all of them, I'm probably most interested in the new Pokemon game.
The Legends ZA or whatever.
Legends ZA, yeah, but
Legend Pizza.
Yeah, I mean, the way I game these days is I have my Legion Go and I stream it from my PC, and it's 1-to-1 basically. So if I want to play an indie game, I do that now. So until the Switch 2 has a good lineup of exclusives that I want to get through,
sure,
I don't really have any reason to go run for it. And I still have a big backlog of Nintendo exclusive games to get through. So I might upgrade it. Yeah, well, I might upgrade it. I might upgrade it for that, just so those have better performance, and I'm not annoyed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casey, how do you feel about like Cart being kind of the one big exclusive like launch game? Like, does that do anything for you?
Yeah, I agree with Nick. Like maybe that's a big deal for a lot of other folks, not so much for me. I ran to get it because I'm worried that there just won't be that option for a long time afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to secure that since I saw the opportunity. But yeah, like I already transferred over to it. But this actually feels more like a console refresh than it does a new console launch.
It does feel like
about it. Yeah, like it's
feels like a pro.
There's not like a
Switch.
Yeah, like and then for the first time, well, not the first time, but like Nintendo very seamlessly was like, "Hey, just continue doing what you were doing." Like the interface is almost exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah,
as it was on the last one. There's like maybe one extra icon, and that's that camera thing that we have to test at some point. We we have to see what
that is true.
What the hell that works.
I only want that shitty Prada plant camera, which literally, no joke, I think they said is 480i.
Wait, the camera doesn't come with a Switch 2, does it?
No, it's a separate thing. Yeah,
no, it's like a
separate. The extra money to buy that thing?
I also don't know. Can you just hook up a webcam?
I've heard that you can, but I have not verified that.
That's the problem with them not sending it to the nerds beforehand. The nerds haven't told us what we can do.
Eric says you can use any webcam.
See?
Yeah,
the rest of my webcams aren't shaped like a piranha plant's mouth.
You spent as much on that dumb Nintendo Switch webcam as you could for a 4K camera.
But it doesn't look like a cool plant, does it?
It doesn't look like Nintendo stuff.
Think about that. Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart, listen, might be the best-selling game of this year outside of Call of Duty.
Right.
I'm sure
it is a console seller.
Yeah,
just not for me.
Sure. Yeah, it's just it doesn't have that same.
Doesn't have like a
campaign. Like I want to get through Zelda so no one spoils it for me. No one can spoil anything in Mario Kart. You can't be like fucking Rainbow Roads at the end. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. There's two rainbows.
Unless there's hell. If there's like a secret hell. Almost like the depths and Tears of the Kingdom. No one spoil that for me. But if hell is in this game, I'd be very excited.
This launch reminds me so much of the Xbox One launch, where like, yeah, there's a few interesting games, but there was no killer exclusive you had to run out for.
Sure. And even like a lot of the big like Street Fighter 6 is here, and Yakuza 0 and Cyberpunk, and it's like, well, those games a lot of people have already played on other things. Whereas when the PS5 and the Xbox Series X came out. Like PlayStation had exclusives like Demon's Souls and the Astro's Playroom, but also right around that time was like Yakuza Like a Dragon and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and so there were like games that was like, well, these are available everywhere, but they're new to me right now. So yeah, there's obviously I don't think doesn't have that same excitement of the your Breath of the Wild, Mario 64, Halo kind of thing, but yeah, I'm excited. I think I like Nintendo's approach of we're going to piecemeal. I think they learned in the Switch 1 that like part of the reason the Switch had such a successful first year is like almost every month they released a new first party game. By the end of that first year of Switch, you had ARMS and Splatoon and Mario Kart and Zelda and Mario Odyssey in the fall and new Pokemon. So
yeah, I think by Christmas this will be a good time to pick it up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, if that From Software game had launched with this, I probably would have ran out today and bought it.
I don't think I would have because I didn't run out with Night Rain. I don't give a shit about Night Rain.
I really like
I like watching people play.
Do you have Night Rain, Marty?
Nah.
Wow. So
I got day fog.
He's scared of other people.
What do I need to play with other people for?
He doesn't like mixing his meats, and he doesn't like mixing multiplayer into Elden Ring.
I thought watching the three of you play, you, Jack, and Jenna, was great. I thought that was really entertaining. And I was like, all right, I got everything I need from this game.
It was cool. It peaked with the Suicide Pact.
Yeah.
That didn't
most things peak with a Suicide Pact. Some folks were asking, because I mentioned the review thing. Yeah, Nintendo didn't send review copies. Like some outlets got them like today. But That's why there's no reviews. There's no Mario Kart review. Like IGN doesn't have a Mario Kart review. IGN doesn't have a hardware
they did
review.
a couple previews and stuff.
Yeah,
after a couple hours, but yeah, no full reviews.
It's also tough because everyone's getting it today, and this is also the busiest week for news in the year for video games, which we'll go on in a little bit to the PlayStation stuff. But then tomorrow is the Keighley showcase, and Sunday is Xbox, and Saturday is a bunch of indies. So I think in the grand scheme of things it's not going to matter. But
you don't think it's going to matter in terms of Nintendo's like sales and impact?
No, I assume all of them are going to sell out this week.
Yeah, I tend to,
and it doesn't seem like there's anything. People were like tinfoil hatting, like, oh, are they hiding something? And as far as I could tell, no. Like the hardware seems fine, and Mario Kart seems fine. So I think it's just Nintendo's weird. And Nintendo's been weird forever, and Nintendo's going to continue being weird.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't put it all in the console this time, so they just did it in the rollout.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, we got to do one thing. It's like, oh, let's make that shitty game where you go inside of the system. Let's make that a few dollars. Let people have to buy it. I did buy it. I haven't played it yet. I refused. I bought it, but out of a political protest, I didn't play it. That's my kind of Activision or Activision.
I think Activision would be very happy with those decisions you made.
That's also how I treat Activision, if I'm being honest. Jason Farrow, also in the Patreon, thank you so much, said, do you think there will be another Nintendo Direct soon? There have been rumors, and I see arguments for and against the validity of those. I think there will be. I don't think there will be one this week. I do think there will be one a little later on in the summer. I assume they're going to show us a little bit more Donkey Kong before it releases. So maybe a late June, early July Direct where it's the last Donkey Kong thing. And then they like solidly show what the rest of the year is like. Maybe date Metroid. I still think there might be one more fall game. Maybe that's like the Wind Waker by the Princess remasters or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I think for that.
You mentioned the Wind Waker remaster. Are you still on this?
Oh, it's happening. Listen, when you hear my theory later, I got a theory, and then when my theory comes true, you're gonna think of me as Nostradamus, and you're gonna question everything. You're gonna be like the boy. And also this weekend, when Silk Song and Persona 4 Rewind are revealed, you're like, man, he knows something.
I think more of you closer to Noah. There's a flood coming this month. There's a flood. You
know what? Eventually it's going to rain. Eventually it's going to rain. And who's going to seem smart? This guy. And then Martin, thank you so much, said, topic for discussion, Switch 2 versus this is kind of towards Nick, Switch 2 versus the various PC handhelds like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. Would you say that having a more powerful Switch on the market makes them less relevant, or do you think they occupy different niches?
I mean, with the way I game on my handheld today, like the only reason for me to get to Switch is for exclusives, because I can do everything on my handheld PC. I can play Xbox games. I can treat it as a PlayStation portable thing that they have now. I can stream PlayStation games to it, and they run just fine.
Yeah, but you don't have a portal, do you?
No, the controller isn't as nice. Sorry, Marty.
Also, I'm realizing I think my portal sucks because my Wi-Fi is terrible. That's like I'm having this like all sorts of thoughts now where I'm like, God damn, is this how fast the internet can be?
Definitely
crazy thoughts to have in 2025.
Yeah, the Switch, the Switch is really. If you're a PC person primarily, the Switch is only necessary for the exclusives at this point in my mind.
But
let's be honest.
Always been Nintendo's bag, though, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a problem.
Bag.
Yeah, it's just that's the only reason I personally would have for it.
And to clarify, Martin says, do you think they occupy different niches? Nintendo's not a niche. The Steam Deck is a niche. Yeah. As someone who loves their Steam Deck and the Roger Ally or whatever the fuck these things are called, those are niches. Like, I would be willing to bet that this week the Switch 2 outsells the Steam Deck's lifetime sales this week.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So like,
I don't think that's even a question.
Yeah. I think there's more of a like, all my normie pals are excited about Switch. My normie pals don't know what a Roger Ally is.
Roger Ally. Sounds like a baseball player.
Roger Ally. And again, I want to clarify, I love my fucking Steam Deck. Like and when Steam Deck 2 or the Zhushed Up Steam Deck is announced, I will buy one day one.
Day one. Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll buy it day zero.
The nice thing about the way I game on my Legion Go now with the I've mentioned it before, like Moonlight and Apollo, where I can stream directly from my computer and there is zero latency anywhere in my house with it. One, because I have really good internet that does not run on a router from 15 years ago.
Wait, what is Moonlight Apollo? Sorry. Okay, that was rude. I was getting ready to ask you a real question. They took shots at the internet that I don't understand.
You know what like GeForce Now is, right?
Yes, it's something like that.
It's basically that, just on.
Oh, that's a crazy name for a service like that.
Yeah, well, it's two different programs you have to use, but it is the smoothest streaming that I've ever had for anything. Like I can play any game on my house. The problem is I can't do that on the go. I have to be on my local connection. So if I'm on the go, then I just install the games on my Legion Go and play indie games that way. But like I can go up into my room on my Legion Go and stream Assassin's Creed Shadows, for example, from my PC, and it runs at full 4K, and like I'd be playing it on my PC. That's how smooth it is. So sure. I'm in my own niche for that kind of thing. But
yeah,
if you're a Switch player, like I definitely wouldn't want to lug my Legion Go around everywhere because that thing's a little bit of a brick. But the Switch, you can put that. I don't know if you can put this one in your back pocket, but
yeah, this one's significally bigger. Like I thought it'd be a little bigger.
Your ass is big enough you could put it back there, but yeah.
And let's be real. I saw all the folks in line.
Yeah. I know what was going on out there. Funny as hell.
That was rude. I apologize.
A couple super chats came in with one. Speaking of big asses, with 100 arses. Eric, you're not allowed to do this. Said I would love to share my Switch 2 experience if you don't mind. Still not available to buy and still no release date where I live. I guess I'm stuck with the PlayStation Portal. You know what, Eric? Let me tell you, as a proud PlayStation Portal owner, it's not good. It's not good, and I don't recommend it to anyone. But I enjoy it every once in a while. Maybe I'll like it more when I figure out this internet situation.
It'd be good if you had my internet. I'll take your thing until you get more.
No, I'll take your fucking internet, dog. That's not the way this transaction's going.
All right, you can
turn this into a Henry story.
I'll trade places with you. Come to Kansas City.
No, I like my house. You got dogs, I'll die. S6, thank you so much, with 10 Australian dollars. If I pre-ordered a Switch 2 and it had puncture holes all over the screen because a store stapled the receipt to the box through the screen, I would literally quit gaming and become a hermit. S6 is referring to a story that I only found out about an hour ago through Eric and Nick about how a certain GameStop store was apparently they got a big shipment in and they stapled like receipts, like pre-order receipts, to the front of the box, which like is kind of a dumb thing to do, but I get like, someone who works at a GameStop should know like, oh, people who buy these don't want you to fuck with their boxes.
Yeah, they like the
put
box.
the stickers on the case.
Yeah, don't put
you assholes.
I thought we learned that, especially at GameStop. Like they should know that because that is literally their market. Apparently, the way that the Switch was packaged, those staples went through the box, and right on the other side of the box was the screen of the Switch 2, and so
which is also kind of insane, right?
Which is like, Nintendo, what are you doing?
To be fair, somebody said the packaging is like so small on the Switch that they probably saved millions of dollars shipping them because of
the package is there's not a wasted inch in the Switch 2 box.
But still, they could have chosen to put the screen under, like they could have just flipped the whole thing and then said all the padding and stuff was above the screen.
Another $1 million.
The screen's not. Why?
because product.
No, all I'm saying is like you would just flip how the Switch is laying, and then all the stuff would be on top of it. So you pull up, the cardboard, and then all your stuff would be near the bottom. I mean, the fan has holes. It's a vent.
Anyway, there's a good ending to the story. GameStop, like that person contacted some press. I saw it, and GameStop like immediately fixed the problem for them, and they're like, "Please don't hate on the employee. They didn't mean to. It's completely fixed. It's all good."
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah,
I approve of that.
One person? It was like a bunch of people who.
I don't know.
I don't think it was. I think it was one of those things where the image got shared around a bunch, and everyone was like, "This is an epidemic." And it's like, "All right, everyone, cool your jets." This happened to that person.
I thought Eric was like unboxing his Switch 2 on, but I don't know where. I don't know
where
Argentina
don't got it. They'll just send you 2 Switch 1s. You'll be happy about it. Snake in the Garden with a €2 dono. Thank you so much, Snake in the Garden. Forget the games. The eShop has filters and sorting. Let me tell you, Snake.
It's also not slow as shit.
The eShop is normal. It runs at a normal speed.
Oh, it does. Right, that's enough for me to go get the Switch 2 today.
I didn't realize the like fucking Stockholm syndrome we all had. Like I literally made a video about how bad the eShop is, and I didn't realize it until I went to this new eShop and was like, oh, things just load when you hit the button. It's like a website. That's crazy.
Yeah, I to be fair, it's still not like great. They're still loading.
Sure.
But like it functions. Like the old one was like
bar is so low
from the beginning was broken. Like how did they just let this happen?
It's Nintendo. It's Nintendo, and they're a weird company. They're an extremely weird company. I don't understand Nintendo. I don't understand Nintendo at all. I love them, but I don't get them. And then Shinzu Akachi, thank you so much for a £10 dono. What's your feeling on recommending this to someone who already plays most games on a high-end PC and has never been a part of the Nintendo ecosystem? So it would only be for exclusives, i.e. me. I mean, hard to recommend right now. It kind of feels like if you don't mind being a little late to the party, just wait a few years. Maybe it'll be cheaper, and then you'll have a giant, like, here's 10 games you can play right now that you can download. They won't go down in price because Nintendo games don't go down in price.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. I would say, especially for that reason, because stuff doesn't go down in price. If you are like a lifelong PC person and have just not mess with Nintendo stuff, this is probably a good time to get the Switch 2, because even all the stuff that's older on Switch 1 and even before that will run better than they've ever run on this, and then you'll get to experience all that stuff while you're waiting for the new stuff to come.
That is true,
but only if like you're really like, oh, I want to try Nintendo stuff now. Because if you're like a little shaky and uninterested in what they do, I agree. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah, that's coming from people who love Nintendo games. But if you currently feel like you have too many games to play and not enough time in the day, then you're probably fine waiting on a Switch.
Like
like Nick. Yeah, there you go. Big Belly Borbus with a $2 dono. Thank you, Big Belly Borbus. I'm trying not to succumb to FOMO. Don't let FOMO control your life. As someone who often lets FOMO control his life, don't be like me. Be like you. Don't be like me.
How many accessories have you bought that you touch once and never touch again?
I like supporting artists. Artists.
So a lot. Yeah, I got it.
Like the Sony PlayStation Corporation.
I can't believe the only thing I can't believe you've not succumbed to FOMO on is VR.
Oh yeah, I don't want to put some shit in my head. No, because I like two screening.
I mean,
VR is the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
VR is the opposite of paying half attention to everything. Yeah, unless I could put like a football game in one eye.
I mean, you can put the VR football game behind you and then put the game in front of you.
You could do some gnarly stuff in VR.
I can't see it. I like this.
There was a version of this where you just put screens all over the place in VR. So I don't know what version, like I don't know how you do that, but somebody's done that.
I just want to be able to yell enhance and have something enhance. That's all I want.
Just make that the entire premise of our game.
The Nintendo Enhance. Fella guy with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Never picked up a Steam Deck, and now that the Switch 2 is out, I'm debating on which one to get. I really enjoy my OG Switch. Which do you guys think?
Oh, we just answered that 3 different times.
Yeah, but I think if you have another way of if you have a PlayStation, an Xbox, or a PC, a way of playing like beefy third-party AAA games that you might not be able to play on Switch. I think a Switch works in that thing. Especially if you liked the first Switch, then yeah, it feels like an easy recommend if you liked the first Switch. And yeah, because I like Switch. The Switch is my Nintendo and indie machine. And granted, a Steam Deck is also a great indie machine, and a lot of indies you can get cheaper on Steam because that's how Steam works. But indies also get really cheap.
You won't have to worry if the games won't run on it for the most part.
No, yeah.
Steam
there's
still has that problem.
Yeah, there's still a few. I think 99.9% of Switch games run on Switch 2. There's still a few things. Like I noticed, I wasn't able to download, and I only noticed it because I literally had just finished it on my Switch 1. Chrono Cross Apparently, they are still figuring out something is weird with that game. And I know it's like Chrono Cross, Nier Automata, just a handful of just kind of random games. And I don't think it's not clearly not a performance thing because like Chrono Cross is a PS1 game. But it sounds like those are kind of getting patched as we speak. So again, I think a lot of this will be, a week or two from now, we'll know for sure. If it'd be funny if there was just one or two games that are like, this just doesn't run. Like you just can't play, the Switch version of Doom Eternal or whatever.
I wasn't able to move over. I noticed any games that were live service games. So like
interesting.
That.
Maybe that's like a different client almost like
a
new Fortnite client. Yeah.
So I guess because Nintendo doesn't handle it themselves or something, it's like a shell for some other protocol or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like chat saying certain things like Crypt of the Necrodancer does not launch. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy doesn't work, but the newer one, Crash 4, does. So I think that might just be first week problems, but yeah, we'll see. That's something we'll keep an eye on. I believe in Doodoo Man with a $2 dono. Thank you, Doodoo Man. Just here to shout out my beloved Deltarune. Yeah, a lot of people mentioned this, and I feel bad because it doesn't feel like anyone here cares. Like
care a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm sure Yahtzee will get to it.
He'll get to it when it's done. It's still episodic, and he has no interest in still playing it when it's episodic.
What episode are we on?
I thought it was completely done now.
I don't believe so. No, this is episodes 1 through 4. So episodes 3 and 4 released new today, on Switch 2 and other things. But I believe the game is still episodic. Yeah, only 4 of 8. That's why we don't care. Or there's going to be separate, whatever, however many. I'm not saying we don't care because we don't care. Like there's several people who are big Undertale fans, but we like playing things when they're done as well, which is tough. Because Casey, you just played through Undertale for the first time a few weeks ago,
and I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel like it warranted a sequel, and Deltarune seems like not a sequel, but similar in a way where it feels like I might have done this already. But I clearly know I haven't. But until I get my hands on it, I won't know what I'm missing, and the game's not done, like you said. So like I'm in no rush to try it out in its current state.
Yeah. And for all you know, the first 4 episodes will get juiced up by that time, and you're like, well, I want to play them when they're good. Yeah, Eric said that Chapter 1 released in 2018. Jesus.
Wow.
That's nuts. Yeah, I don't know. Fella Guy, thank you so much for a $2 dono. FOMO is for the stock market, not video games. Counterpoint.
Tell the game publishers that.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them selling you $15 to play the game 3 days early.
Here's a secret. Here's a secret. Video games are on the stock market.
Get the fuck out of here.
They very much care what happens on the stock market.
They do.
Stock market is a video game.
Oh no. Blistered Soul with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Blistered Soul. Free upgrade, card code, or rebuy the game. So simple. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I think some
Does that
games
just mean the complicated way?
Some games have
gotcha.
Card code.
The digital, the virtual game card.
Sure. I don't think that's a Nintendo specific problem. I feel like that's more and more we're getting the industry. Yeah, we're getting the wait, is this the PS4 or remember when the PS5 launched, it was like, is this the PS4 or the PS5 version? Wait, I could buy the PS4 version of Valhalla and it'll upgrade to the PS5 version and it's $10 cheaper than the PS5 version. Yeah, or like, I get the disc and the game isn't actually on the disc. It's I need a 50 gig download to play the game. It all sucks.
Well, I also want to bring up because I don't know if we brought this up, but that change that they did, which happened prior to the launch of the Switch 2 to virtual game card, that functionality, they undid functionality that the Switch had, and they encouraged, which was if you had like multiple Switches in your house, like a child Switch, for example, you could game share by having your main account on that child Switch and vice versa. So like everything that you own on your account, as long as you were signed to the internet and it could do the check that you owned it, you could just play everything in that library from the other profile.
Yeah. With
the virtual game card thing, and I haven't been able to test this fully because my son's not here yet, but apparently the Switches need to physically be close to each other to initiate that link to be like, okay, these things can do the game share, but they also have to be within the same Nintendo Online family account. So it can't just be like you and a friend who both have separate online things and then want to do that game share thing. That would then fall into this new category, which is where you can let their friend borrow your game. And like there's a timer on that of like 2 weeks where you physically will not be able to launch the game that you paid for because your friend virtually has borrowed it. And then it'll return to you automatically. If your friend hasn't finished it yet, you then have to go through the process of lending it out to them again for another 2-week stretch. Needlessly complicated. They already solved, well, not even solved, but like they had a workaround for doing this sort of thing with at least one other person. And this is a worse version of that.
Snake in the Garden says you're wrong.
I'm wrong? What? I mean, no, let me know. What am I getting wrong about the setup? Because again, I haven't tested the actual family plan version
Yeah, I'm
yet.
curious. This almost feels like it's probably better off waiting a week until we have solid answers for all of these, right? Because the way I understood it was the way you did just explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it is different in practice now that people actually have this hardware, because it feels like a lot of things are different in practice, or assumptions people made weren't necessarily correct. So,
because my biggest issue is, and it's a very specific issue, is that my son's not with me all the time. So when this update launched, it's like, bring the other Switch close in order to initiate this thing, and it's like 800 miles from me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So we just got to wait till he gets here. He'll be here in like a week.
There you go. Hell yeah. Nintendo constantly being confusing. Any last Switch thoughts before I move on to
time to switch over to PlayStation.
Whoa! I saw
time.
what you did there, and I liked it. So yeah, the first quote unquote big showcase of Summer Game Fest was yesterday. It was the PlayStation State of Play, about 50 minutes of games and reveals. Most of which were third-party games that they announced afterwards, coming to different things. Had a heavy Japanese slant to it, which I was a big fan of, and a few updates on Sony first-party games, and including a Sony second-party game, a big reveal. So right off the bat, I mean, Nick and I did our watch-along yesterday, but Casey, was there anything that you caught up on that kind of stood out to you? Like, the fighting game was the big thing at the end, right? The Marvel fighting game made by Arc System
and I saw that trailer outside of it, and that is very exciting. That looks really freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I only got through half of it, so I'm interested to hear what I missed. But my initial impression is that they got some stuff coming. Like, it's not from Sony proper, at least. Like, was it very third-party heavy, like throughout the whole thing, or did they get to their stuff later?
Yeah, I think
no. The only Sony stuff
also coming to Xbox.
Yeah, the only Sony stuff was a tease of Ghost of Yote with a big reveal is going to be in July. They're going to have like a big standalone showcase or whatever for that. And then technically the fighting game is published by Sony. The Marvel fighting game is going to be a PlayStation and PC exclusive.
They're still doing that?
Because they own Evo. They own part of Evo, and they announced a Sony first-party fighting stick. So I felt like there was a synergy here. I felt like there was a very purposeful synergy.
It still wouldn't hurt them to make a multiplayer focused thing.
Also have an Xbox version. Also have a Switch 2 version, because the bigger the community, all the money funds back into PlayStation. I don't know if maybe that is the plan down the road, but as of now, it has not been announced. It's been announced for PC and for PlayStation 5.
It's disappointing.
Yeah. Some other things that were shown off, a new Lumines Arise. So the same Lumines is by the same folks who made Rez and Tetris Effect. This is very much does for Lumines what Tetris Effect did for Tetris, which I don't know if you guys ever played Lumines, but that was a big PSP launch puzzle game that was very much kind of very Colorado coded, we'll say.
We can do that for Geometry Wars.
There you go. Oh my God, could you imagine? Bring it back. Fucking love Geometry Wars. Romeo is a Dead Man looked really cool. That's the new game from Suda 5.1 and Grasshopper Manufacturers. That looks like them finally having a big budget to do a thing. A lot of times their games can look a little chintzy, but this looks really big, really cool. We also got reveals and release dates for a lot of things, including Silent Hill F, got a release date of September 25th, which is very exciting. The Final Fantasy Tactics, remaster Jushup is coming out a few days later on September 3rd. Baby Steps coming out earlier that month on September 8th. So yeah, just showing off a bunch of cool stuff there. One game that made a comeback, we hadn't seen it for a few years, is Pragmata. This is the Capcom game that was revealed. Might be revealed back when Delta Rune first came out.
Was still around. Yeah,
it might have literally been revealed back when Delta Rune came out, and this had release dates in the 2020s, 2021. They even there's a little goof at the end of like a few E3s ago. They had like a 2021 crossed out and then a 2022 put afterwards because it got delayed a year. And now it was like 2026 with like a little smiley face of like, it's actually coming out now.
No, I think it said it's real.
It's real. Can I take you to the theory corner?
Absolutely. Let's go.
So this game by Capcom, the trailer starts off, we see a little bit of kind of B-roll of this company. And it's a company called Delphi, like the Oracle of Delphi in Greek mythology. The Oracle of Delphi is associated with the god Apollo. The Temple of Apollo is there. Apollo, among many things, is the god of archery. He's the god of music, the god of dance. He's the god of light. The sun. This is a company named after something associated with the god of light. You would think this tech company probably has doctors, right? There's probably doctors working at this company. So doctors at a company associated with light. The first character we see is a proto-man. He's a large man in a suit.
I see.
And he has a child figure wearing blue with blonde hair who looks like Roll from Mega Man. This girl has a blaster arm. Her right arm is a blaster. This is a fucking Mega Man game. I will put $100 down. This is a Mega Man game.
I want this to be true.
I absolutely. I rewatched it this morning, and I'm like, holy shit! And I went online, I'm typing it, and no one else is talking about this, and I need to figure out what's going on because this is a fucking look at her arm. That's a blaster. Her hoodie's a blaster.
You're right. Like you're right. Like I can absolutely see all of the connections. Why would they do it this way?
So, this was around. If this went in development when it was first revealed, this was around the time of Resi 7. Shortly after Resi 7. So Resi 7 did a very like a hard right pivot for the series. It went first person, like that initial trailer, that initial demo didn't feel like Resi. And yet they revealed this is Resi. I feel like there was something in the water at Capcom for we need to like revitalize our franchises for a modern era. And I think Pragmata, something was going on with it, and it was clearly in some kind of development hell for a while. But in that time, Capcom has been revisiting so many of their franchises. You know, we have Onimusha coming back. We talked about last week about all those Mega Man collections. Like almost every Mega Man series outside of like Legends has been has been piled into a single thing. And
we did think it was strange
not going back to Mega Man, which is arguably the franchise that made them in the first place.
Yeah.
I think
like okay, all right. You know what? Okay, you're convincing me. My tinfoil hat is squarely on.
It feels good. It feels good.
What?
The water's fine.
Look
at her. She's Mega Man and Roll combined.
Like, honestly, imagine if you found like a scruffy Mega Man in the woods. He'd probably look like that. And you'd have to like give him a haircut and then put his helmet on to let him go wild, right?
Is there an M dash between Mega and Man in the title?
No, I think they write it straight through.
I actually don't know how Mega Man's written.
I don't think they put it down.
Oh no, I wrote Mega Man. Oh no, it's just Mega Man. No, it's 2 words. Mega Man.
Oh,
it's just
okay,
2 regular ass.
Okay, so there's a space though. Okay, so technically there's 8 characters. There's also 8 characters in Pragmata.
Like, yeah, I feel like that. no, I'm 100% on board with this. You
guys are both going to the home.
There was a second this morning where I was like, Pragmata, Mega Man, I can rearrange the letters. I'm like, no, I can't. There's a
That's what I was trying to do in the chat.
Like, I think this from the beginning may have been a code name to prevent backlash from how big of a departure it was going to be. So let's show people this thing. Let's give it a name, Pragmata, which what does that mean in the grand scheme of whatever? Who knows, right? Maybe it's just an internal code name. But if it gets to the point where it gets shown and folks like it, then you do the thing. The logo changes, like it gets hit with a blaster or whatever, and then you see why that confirms. I can absolutely see this. Absolutely see this.
This is it.
I think
the only thing I've worked
so
against
I think
me.
they just want you to think that, so you get people really interested in this theory.
Maybe.
And it's free marketing for them.
Maybe.
I think it's real. I think it's real. Jess also agrees with me. Jess said Marty is cooking here, and by cooking I mean making toast, and the toast is burning.
Okay.
It's fine. Someone's right.
Listen, I will get some research done of homes you are ready for.
Listen, if Pac-Man can now be like a scary Metroidvania in a shadow labyrinth, Mega Man could be a fucking game where a big dude has to take care of a little girl.
Yeah, why can't
Fine.
Mega Man be a Mega Girl?
Kratos, this happened to Kratos. Everyone's
Mega
fine when it
Woman.
happened to Kratos.
Right?
I don't know why I'm saying Kratos at that tone.
Your voice is getting higher pitched.
Kratos!
The crazy's coming.
It's Kratos. Charles Reimer over in the Patreon. Thank you so much, Charles. And I just want to say that this state of play was probably Sony's best. They're usually full of games that look completely unidentifiable and flavorless. For once, I actually enjoyed watching the state of play. And I say that despite not actually being interested personally in any of the games outside of maybe giving Final Fantasy Tactics another chance. Yeah, I thought it was really, like, I saw some backlash of, like, I think people were wanting the new Naughty Dog game, the new Sony Santa Monica game, like that kind of thing. And I get it, but like,
I think they could avoid that backlash if they just made sure to designate these as like, hey, this third party state of play.
I mean, that's
first party
kind of what a state of play is, because they have state of plays and they have showcases. So like,
yeah, that's fair.
it is technically, yeah. I thought it was good though. I was a fan, and I'm excited to. We also got a new game. We got like Doga V2, that pirate game. A great looking fake ass.
That I didn't see. So
yeah.
Tell me more about that, because I did not see that at all.
It's a fake ass game. Nick did a little bit of research on it. It's apparently something that's been revealed several years ago, and it's from Nexon.
No. It was like, yeah, it wasn't revealed properly, but it's like been openly talked about. It's a free to play, like mobile and console thing. That's definitely probably a gotcha because it's from NetEase.
Fucking burn. Yeah, it's called.
Genshin Impact and ZZZ are both also mobile games. And
That's true.
like
those look good. Those look good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely could be cool, but from that trailer, I didn't get very much. I mean,
it doesn't look like gameplay, right?
Well, it's definitely the gacha mobile version of Sea of Thieves. I mean, it's literally called Sea of Remnants.
Yeah, and it has like visually, it has a almost like the characters kind of look like puppets in a really cool way, like almost like wooden.
I got
sharp
real excited
features.
when we were watching because I like the trailer like almost looks like it came from the studio that did Arcane with the visual style.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, like kind of the sharp jaws and
the
everything.
gameplay showed up, and then I was like, oh.
But it also some of the gameplay looked turn-based at one point. At one point, it kind of looked like fucking Claire Obscure, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? I don't know what this game is.
It is one of the more confusing things we've seen in a while.
I'm putting it in the Doka V pile of it's not real, but I like it. We also got the release date for Sword of the Sea, which I'm really excited for, coming out August 19th. That's the next game from the Abzu/Pathless developers, former Journey leads. Looks like the shit they always do, but this is like more action heavy, and you surf on water and sand on a cool sword. So I'm fucking here for it. And then we got the first CG trailer for 007 First Light, the James Bond game from IO Interactive. This is an origin story. James Bond looks like a little baby boy. He's like a little baby Bond.
Baby Tom Cruise.
What is he, like 001 right now?
He's a 001. Yeah, I don't think he's a double. He's an EN double. He's like, he just looks like a little boy. Which is fine. Some people are mad that he looks like a little boy. And I'm like, well, sometimes you gotta look like a little boy.
It's an origin story. Like, you want him to start to be as an old man.
Yeah. It also looks a little more stylish than realistic, which I'm also fine with. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's not like a cartoon. It looks, I don't know. It looks cool. Yeah, I'm curious if we'll see more gameplay tomorrow.
Oh my God. He just looks like Ethan Hunt.
He does look like young Ethan Hunt. He does. He looks like baby Tom Cruise. Interview with Vampire Tom Cruise.
That game is probably near my top 5 most anticipated games.
Yeah,
I,
honestly,
I trust IO to make really good gameplay.
Yeah. And listen, and when it comes to publishing games, I don't trust them because they got Mind's Eye coming out. So, but when it comes to making games, I trust them. The opposite of Bethesda. Don't trust them making games. Publishing games, I absolutely trust them. A couple more super chats came in. I believe in Doo-Doo Man with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Delta Rune, : I'll just watch Game Theory to finish. Look at that. Remember that guy? Is that guy still alive? Or you said Game Throny. Game Throny?
Game
Thrones? Game
Technically,
Thrones?
yeah. Well, Doo-Doo Man said Game Throny, but I just, in my head, corrected it to
Doo-Doo
Game
Man,
Theory.
you gotta get off the toilet when you're typing your super chats.
Let him Doo-Doo Man! I don't know what Game Throny is. Game of Thrones is great, though. The artist formerly known as Fat Cock. He also said Frommerly. What is going on with you guys? Fat Cock, your name has a typo in it. Frommerly? What is happening?
Can't change it either right now.
Frommerly? Listen, I don't like doing the Yahtzee thing of calling people out on typos and whatnot, but Machi, that's in your name. It's your name. Can't get your name wrong. Thank you, Fat Cock, $5 dono. Personally, I'm interested in the next Resi game remake or installation. Hopefully something will be revealed this weekend. Yeah, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about Resi 9. I could see that being tomorrow evening at Keeley's. That feels like a Keeley version.
I bet the show kicks off with Resident Evil 9.
Oh my God. I think
that's a big prediction.
What if it turns out Resi 9 is inside of Pragmata?
That Resi 9 is actually a mega game.
The 8 robot masters you have to fight in Pragmata are 8 new games from Capcom.
Well, think about it this way.
You just fight the games? What does that even mean?
Games had it coming.
Think about it this way. Resident Evil 9, Mighty Number 9, Mega Man.
Oh, see, Nick's joining. Rearrange the letters in Pragmata.
Yeah,
you got Mata Prag.
I'm gonna call and insert myself into the home myself. You're welcome.
Sure, home's great. Then Doo-Doo Man back with another $2. Delta Rune 3 and 4. I'll watch Breaking Bad when it's done. Breaking Bad was all one word.
What is happening?
Doo-Doo Man, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's scary, and I don't like
there's a theme here, but I don't know it.
The theme is everyone went nuts when I broke their minds with my Pragmata prognosis. Prognosis?
Prognosis.
Didn't say that one right. Any other thoughts on the state of play?
No marathon.
Oh, sure. They didn't show that at all. Yeah.
They haven't even said a word about it. All right.
Yeah.
Man. So everybody's like, oh, that wasn't the right showcase to show it. And it's like, that was the time to probably give an update. It's only 3 months away from release, supposedly.
I mean,
there's supposed to be a beta in 2 months.
The showcase had a lot of good vibes going through it, though, and I feel like Marathon would have harshed the mellow, so I think it was good they didn't do that.
For that Marvel game at the very end, KC, they did like probably, I don't know, 7-8 minute dev diary, and I'm pretty sure they just threw that in there to make up for Marathon not being there at the end. They had to throw.
So you think it was supposed to be here and they pulled it?
I think
if Marathon had hype rolling into it, this would have been a marketing beat for them. I do think so.
Yeah, I'm.
So is there a reason why
I'm more than confident Marathon's getting delayed. I just don't know what I'm unsure about is like if it's going to get delayed so they can polish it more, or is this thing getting reworked, or is it getting canceled?
Yeah, I'm curious why. Yeah, if they are going to delay it, which seems likely. Wouldn't it have made sense to say that before this, so folks wouldn't expect it or ask questions about it? Why it wasn't there? Like they say, all right, well,
I don't think they know what they're doing yet. That's what I think.
All right.
I mean, they got to fix this art problem, obviously, but I mean, the larger problem is the PR around the game is just so bad. Like, when is the right time to say something? When is the right time to say we're doing something different? What is it? I don't know.
I think they should just say that they never revealed the game in the first place. I think they should gaslight us all.
Just anytime you say, well, what about Marathon? What
Marathon? What that old Mac game from the 90s?
We are in a post-truth. We are in a post-truth.
We make Destiny.
Just wipe it from the internet. Never happened.
Make it till you make it.
You just go back and use the YouTube editor and cut it out of the showcase.
See, never happened. Joffrey of Monmouth, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Pragmata is ancient Greek for a thing / matter. So they literally just named the game a thing. They didn't know what it was yet. It was a thing. The Mega Man. What is a Mega Man if not a thing? With that one, I feel like I peaked earlier in terms of my theory holding weight, and I feel like it's been going. I've been losing a lot the more I try to explain it. That's
you know what we didn't do though. If I'm being honest, we didn't talk about the gameplay of Pragmata that they showed. Honestly, like we don't know, like if it's not a Mega Man game, what is this game? And like, did you like what you saw? Because we did not say anything about that. I just realized
I didn't see a lot.
I think that's why he's hoping it's a Mega Man game.
You look like I think I described it as like it looked like a little sister on the shoulder of a big daddy, and kind of just like moving around spaces and shooting energy at different robots. Although every time we've seen the trailer before, it's been like in Times Square or on the moon, and now it was just in like a factory. So.
You could see the Earth from there, so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you just launch straight at it and it's like, all right, now we're here.
You can see the moon everywhere. Think about it. You close your eyes hard enough.
Going back to Marathon for a second, since everybody was saying like, just memory hole a game. Sony is like the king of memory holing games. How many exclusives have they done that to now? Deep Down, Agent, Wild. They have a whole list of games that they announced and then never said a word about again, ever.
Yeah, at least Microsoft has the courtesy of canceling their games.
Yeah, at least they
Scalebound.
At least they say
Legends. Yeah, what is Nintendo the only? Nintendo doesn't like announce most of their games until they're done. So
yeah.
Like
Agent's still out there somewhere being cooked.
I don't think it is.
Oh, and that Team Bondi Horror of the Orient game.
I'm gonna be honest. I think first off, Team Bondi, I don't think it exists anymore. They might have got shut down. Also, everyone's just working on Grand Theft Auto. They got to make sure that like when you open a beer, your bubbles go to the top. So the team that was working on Agent is making sure there's the right level of carbonation when you open a BrewDog in GTA 6. Blistered Soul with a 2-pound dono. Thank you so much. Nah, Pragmata is just a reskinned, canceled Jack and Daxter. Listen,
okay,
don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time. And then Doo-Doo Man back with another $5. Definitely not negging everyone waiting. Deltarune. I'll start watching Sopranos when it's finished. I'll play Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts once they're done. I think what Doo-Doo Man is saying, equating to I watch weekly television series just fine. I watched season 2 of Severance, even though season 3 probably won't come out in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm just going to say? They're different. I'm not going to back it up with anything. I'm just going to say they're different. They feel different in my bones.
They are different, but also I do that with TV.
Sure.
I wait till it's done.
Yeah. Also, Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts, they're just fucking riffing as they go. None of that shit matters. One game doesn't matter to the other. I love Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts. The secret of those series is one game does not matter to the next game. Even when the one game is fully based on the previous games, like Metal Gear Solid 4, none of it matters.
Just for Jess, I'll start Deltarune when I believe a Doo-Doo Man puts a apostrophe in there.
See, now you're negging the punctuations, the punctuation gods.
Okay, she yelled at me for getting a hyphen wrong.
That's true.
I said
with an M dash. I didn't say it.
They look exactly the same. Leave me alone.
I didn't say anything. Before we get into what we've been playing and watching, Jax. JACS over in the Patreon at the $5 tier said, "What lessons will the industry learn from Claire Obscure? Wrong answers only, and are QTEs cool again?" QTEs, the secret about QTEs,
were always cool.
They were always cool.
Yeah.
So one thing Nick and I agree on: QTEs were always cool. Also, timed button presses aren't. I feel like they're different than QTEs.
I will forever take a QTE over having to smash a health bar for hours.
Yeah. I'd rather take a cutie than an ugly.
Like Rise on Rome, one of the games of all time.
Absolutely, games of all time. You kidding me? It's a great game.
Like I don't know, QTEs have their place. They were used like obnoxiously for a time, and I think that is what harshed their reputation. But yeah, if you use them effectively, they're great. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I hope the good lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, in terms of lessons learned, wrong answers. I think what they'll do is hire Hollywood talent,
sure,
and use their voices and likenesses to promote the game. because that's a thing that this game had, but it's literally has nothing to do with why it's so well loved.
Sure. Yeah.
Like nothing at all to do. Like it added to it for sure because those performances are great, but you could have got regular game actors and voice actors and whatnot to do great performances. It would have sold exactly as much.
Sure. Yeah, because the level of like Charlie Cox is cool, Andy Serkis is cool. No one's like, oh my god, I need to buy this because it's Charlie Cox. Like,
right?
I don't know if I'd be curious how many people played either the Cyberpunks because of Keanu Reeves or Idris Elba. Like, I feel like the two of them are big enough to where maybe there's some people who did pick them up because of that. But even that,
maybe
like, I don't know.
But like, if they did pick them up, like, if they're that outside the thing to be like, oh, this celebrity's in a game, let me buy the game. Would they like that game once they started playing it?
Yeah.
Like Cyberpunk is like a real big ass FPS RPG. Like if you just are horny for Idris Elba, like what are you gonna
fucking like? I inventory? Feel like, what?
I can't think of any game I would have ever bought just for the actor.
Yeah, that might have been like an old thing when it was like,
Bruce
Willis in
like
Apocalypse.
John Wick game. I'd run out and buy that, but
sure, but that's less it's more of like John Wick. Yeah, like did anyone buy Death Stranding because Norman Reedus was in it? Because that greasy motorcycle boy was in it. Yeah, love me Reedus. Fucking love me Reedus.
I think what the wrong lesson people take from Claire Obscure is just going out in the street and looking for developers to bring into their projects.
Sure. Yeah, that seems like that was a one-time thing. I think it's possible everyone's going to pivot and set too many games in France, and too many games are going to kick off with a gourmage. Like, oh no, all our folks are dead. And then Doo-Doo Man with another $2 dono. Nick, please no promising. You were more Night Rain.
You are more Night Rain. I'm so confused. Yes,
Nick, you've been playing Night Rain, though. Can we talk about Night Rain? Can we pivot to the final segment?
We can. Yes, I've been putting quite a few hours in the Night Rain. I finished the second boss last night with a group of randoms, the Gaping Jaw.
Is that the Gaping Dragon?
Gaping, yeah. It's kind of like a dragon hippopotamus. Is the best.
Oh, that's cool.
I can describe
like the hippos from. Did you play the Erdtree? Like those hippos you had to fight in Erdtree?
Yes, but much uglier.
Okay. Yeah, because the ones in Erdtree were real sexy.
Yeah. It's different levels. I quite like Night Rain, actually. I was iffy. I wasn't really hyped for it or anything, but I was interested in it, and I definitely like the loop of just going in and running around with friends and leveling up as fast as you can to take on these final bosses. I don't know how much staying power it'll have because like aside from the different bosses, like each scenario is pretty similar. And like I know I'm kind of with Jack on the page of like I would have just liked like a open world co-op Elden Ring where we just go around and explore and take on bosses and kind of at our own pace.
Yeah.
So I think there's pros and cons to what they did here. I kind of like the roguelike nature of it. And what I do really like about actually how it progresses though is like you don't just get everything at the start. Like you have one night boss that you can go target at the start. And the game kind of opens up and actually has a progression loop of unlocking new characters and new areas and like different modifiers to the game world and everything. So it actually feels like there's rewards outside of just XP and cosmetics and all that for completing things. So I do like that part of it. It feels, I don't know, almost throwback in the way the multiplayer games used to be. You had to unlock the different levels and stuff. So I don't mind that. I think I'm more curious, like, what are they going to do to keep building on this? Because clearly, it's going to be a service game of some sort for FromSoft, I imagine. Where they'll add stuff over time to it, or new bosses and stuff like that. It's clearly set up for that.
Do you think it'll be a service game?
I think so. I mean, it's set up for it with the expedition format that they have, that you have to choose a boss to go target, and they just keep adding new bosses, and people will.
Yeah, I mostly said that because they've never, this would be theoretically their first service thing. Like they've done DLCs or expansions and whatnot, but they haven't done like little drops. Yeah, I'd be curious.
So I don't, they haven't said anything about making it that way, but everything feels set up to you do that. And with the amount of success it's already seen, I don't see why they wouldn't keep adding on to it.
Yeah, like this could literally be kind of a side hustle while they work on all their other stuff. Like, because as it stands, all of their other properties make weird appearances and stuff, right? Like they're reusing boss assets, reusing location assets, reusing character models, etc. Animations, I'm sure, out the wazoo. So anything going forward that they're working on with it, like what if Sekiro bosses start showing up in this?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
What if a goddamn Armored Core shows up?
They kind of have a format here where they don't have to change a whole lot to make it feel fresh. Give us a new map, give us new bosses.
Yeah, at nice little periods, like just hey, here's an update. Night Rain just got a chunk of new stuff to keep it interesting. That sounds like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah, and I will say that like enjoying the fact that I am enjoying this makes me a lot more excited for that Switch 2 exclusive they announced.
Oh yeah,
clearly multiplayer can work for this.
Yeah, I'm curious. Maybe they like internal testing. They were pretty, confident in Elden Ring or in Night Rain, and so they were like, "Well, fuck it, we'll do another multiplayer run." It being Switch 2 seems insane, genuinely insane. But who knows? The store is nice and clean, so maybe online experience will be.
Yeah, it's also just nice to have a co-op game that's different and not shooting things. But
sure.
I'll take it.
Good.
I don't know how long I'll stick with it, but it's right now, getting in, doing a run, and shutting it off has been fun.
Listen, the games don't have to last forever.
They don't.
You get a couple weeks of enjoyment out of them. Sometimes that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You been playing or watching anything else?
Yeah, so I didn't get to talk about it last week because they changed the embargo date to the day after Firelink. But I got to last month. I got to go out and preview that Hell Is Us. That's coming out in September, I believe. And there's actually a demo for Steam Next Fest that you can go play right now if you like what you hear here. So this game is actually on my fantasy list as one of the games that I hope reviews well this year. So in the preview,
I remember I counterpicked it.
Oh, you did?
I counterpicked Night Rain. Which it was theoretically not terrible because it was like a 79.
Yeah. But so anyways, Hell Is Us is not a Souls-like, before anybody turns away from it. It's actually like a narrative-driven action-adventure game, and it's not fully open world. It's set in like different zones. The big hook that the developers have for this game is that it does not hold your hand in any form, really. It is there is no map, there's no mission markers. It's very much you need to investigate the world and talk to people and kind of pick up different pieces of information to complete quests and all that. There's dungeons, and then there is like Souls-ish combat. There is like, it has that kind of like flow to it, and it can be pretty challenging at times. But it is more a action adventure game rather than just a Souls go fight the boss type game. So earlier this year, I really talked about how I love the mission structure of Kingdom Come Deliverance, where you start a quest and then you have to go and kind of figure things out on your own. You have to go to the map and go look for places and go look for things on the map and go talk to people and then come back to those people as you learn more information to keep going through the mission or the quest or whatever investigation you're doing. And this game kind of has that same type of mission structure where like I might talk to a guy who will tell me where this person is. I go talk to that person gives me more information. I go back to the other guy, and then because I got that information from them, they now can deliver more information to me. And so without the map and without quest markers and all that, it's a game that like you do want to explore every nook and cranny and find the documents, find these hidden items, find these things. Like sometimes you'll just find a item out in the environment like a teddy bear, and you won't know what to do with it until you find a little girl hiding up in an attic, and then you give it to her, and that unlocks kind of a new set of things to do.
She grows up to be
I really dug it when I previewed it, and the dungeons, like they put a lot of time into the dungeons. So if you like dungeon crawling and going through puzzles and challenges and all that, that's all there. I would say the dungeon that I did in the preview session, it wasn't like the puzzles weren't that complicated, maybe even a little bit boring. So I'm hoping farther in the game the puzzles get more complicated and require a bit more thought than what I had to do there. But yeah, in general, like incredible atmosphere. The voice actor, I think of Adam Jensen as the main character, so kind of works.
I didn't ask for this.
He really fits there. Yeah, and it's one of those games that I think like I don't think it's gonna sell 10 million copies or anything like that, but I think this is gonna definitely find its audience in an age of people being very tired of just being directed everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the focus on like investigation.
So what? Because I get how appealing it can be to feel like you're very naturally uncovering like the story and the world in general. But what do they have that does help tie like narrative together? Like, is there some sort of log? Like, if you do find a quest, do you then get to see who that quest belongs to and like?
Yeah, you have like this like data pad that keeps everything organized for you, and as you go through investigations and stuff like that, it starts filling in things for you to keep track of. So yeah, it's not like you have to remember everything. It's still a game.
Okay, good. Yeah, because so that makes it sound more like Outer Wilds, right? Where it's like you just go anywhere, and then as you uncover stuff, the game helps you keep track of what you did uncover because you can go in any direction, right?
Mm-hmm. And like, there are like things they give, like when we did the preview, they give us a notebook because like you're probably gonna want to write stuff down to keep track.
See, I don't want to do that.
You go.
I don't want to
get
like
PTSD of
you can type it on your phone.
Yes, it does make me feel.
It's fine. It's RNG. So even if you know the room you want, you're not gonna.
Yeah. My main critique that I had from the preview was I like the combat, and I think they're trying to find that middle ground of making it kind of paced like a Souls-like, but not as challenging as a Souls-like, if that makes sense. But right now, there might be like too many enemies on the map, and then the enemy variety wasn't super strong, but they are fun to fight either way, and the weapons are really cool. Like it's not like these bog standard swords and stuff. Like you upgrade your weapons of like these really crazy looking things.
There's a dude who keeps popping up in the trailer, and let me tell you, he doesn't have a face. And I don't want to spoil Claire Obscure. I don't trust men without faces anymore.
the enemies are really weird in this game. Are really abstract.
They look cool. And then your dude just has like a ball cap on, which is just, I was not like a baseball cap.
He looks so normal.
He looks like Sam Porter Bridges. Looks like he needs to reconnect the internet.
He doesn't look like he belongs in the space he's in, which I kind of dig.
He doesn't, because he is pretty much just a normal dude looking for his parents.
That guy's looking for his parents? He's like 35.
He lived a good life. That's fine.
I think he's trying to find out what happened to his parents, at least. Like, there's the
whole backstory. That's what happens.
It's the apocalypse. They're on their own.
Yeah, the whole backstory of the game is like, this is his family basically shipped him off from a country torn up by a civil war, and then that civil war, not in America, but that country, like, the apocalypse kind of happened because of the Civil War stuff, and so it's like all fucked up in all sorts of ways. So really, really interesting narrative to the narrative of the game.
I like the big guy with his gullet. I think that's cool looking.
Yeah, he's pretty ugly.
Looks like Mojo. This game's neat. This has a release date, right? It's coming out soon.
Yeah, I think September.
Damn, a lot of games coming out in September. Cool. You play anything else?
I'm still just cranking away on Monster Train 2, and then another game I can't talk about yet.
Hell yeah. Casey, you do anything?
No. This week has been absolute hell. And then I stayed up.
Anything. I guess we told our Switch stories. That's like the equivalent of we played something. We played consumerism.
I saw bits and pieces of that Netflix show Sirens, which stars the young version of Rhaenyra from House of the Dragon.
Oh yeah. Wait, is that the one about the sister who comes back and they're like,
it's like two
compound?
Yeah,
whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's a very strange show. And again, I've only seen bits and pieces. I did see the very ending. That show is very sad.
Okay, now I'm kind of excited. I didn't realize I thought it was a movie. It's a series.
It's a series. Yeah, it's multiple episodes.
Okay,
it's very sad.
Sure.
Like not all the way through, but like the end kind of just hits you like, oh. What?
Yeah, because everyone get gourmaged.
Just a big lady writes a number in the sky. Y'all go, what is that about?
Why hasn't the camera shown her yet? It feels like they should have shown her at some point. Okay, I'm gonna check this out. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies I need to see this weekend. I want to see The Phoenician Scheme, the new Wes Anderson movie. I want to see The Life of Chuck. That's the new Mike Flanagan movie based on the Stephen King book, Stephen King short story. And it's supposed to be really good, starring Tom Hiddleston. And I want to see there's the Dan to Dan movie comes out this weekend. That's just like the first couple episodes of season 2.
How do you not mention the most important movie, Ballerina?
Ballerina. I think it comes out
Tomorrow.
Probably right
Tonight,
now. It's probably in
technically.
theaters right now. Yeah, I need to finish John Wick 3 and 4. I rewatched 1 and 2, which were very good, and I need to rewatch 3 and 4. 4 is really good. 4 is really good. They're all really good. I'm not going to watch the Continental, if I'm going to be honest. I'm usually a completionist, but I don't need to watch Mel.
It's actually pretty good.
I don't need to watch Mel Gibson. Whatever.
Why'd it get canceled?
Oh, that's fair.
If I want to find a bunch of racists, I'll just watch
It was just a
movies.
limited series.
Yeah.
You know what?
I also don't think anyone watched it.
Got canceled.
Captain Prez with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Captain President. Speaking of Claire Obscure, have y'all seen the T-shirt with 5 Gustavs on it that says "Girl Dinner" on it? Priceless. Want that shirt? That sounds like a good shirt. Eric, did you find that shirt? Girl Dinner.
I know what Girl Dinner is.
They're all going to eat Gustav.
Oh, it's okay. It's being horny.
I think it's being horny, unless you're talking about like gourmage flowers.
No, because that's not what Girl Dinner means. Girl Dinner is like eating on the cheap.
Like whatever the fuck you got in the fridge kind of thing.
Yeah, so like I don't understand, like especially if it's like a thirst shirt, like they want to eat Gustav.
That shirt's like, okay, never mind. That shirt's great. That's a great shirt.
5 of them. That's an expensive meal.
Look at that shirt. I think the fact that it doesn't make sense is great. Fat Cock back once again. Nick and Marty played Ninja Blade and talk about QTEs. I actually own Ninja Blade and I've never played it. Ninja Blade was a 2009 Xbox 360 game published by Microsoft, developed by a friend of the show, From Software, during their dark days. Where From Software
I remember this. I remember the box art for this.
This was published. This was I guess a second party Xbox game. I ended up buying a used copy of a couple old FromSoft games like Otogi and this. I think there's a game called X-Blade. I don't know. Apparently it has QTEs. I don't know anything about it. I will do my research, Fat Cock.
Yeah, is it good? Is it bad?
Probably bad. I feel like if it was good, people would always be like, "Oh, that one FromSoft game that was good before Demon Souls," and that's cookies and cream. Steady Goblin Wood. Speaking of, nope.
Welcome back.
With a $2 dono, says unrelated, but shout out to ZZZ 2.0 launch gifts. Do we know anything about that, Casey? ZZZ 2.0 launch gifts?
I know folks were happy because I don't know if it was because of the 1-year anniversary, which might have just passed, or if the 2.0 is lined up with the 1-year anniversary, but they are giving you a choice of a free S rank character. Not out of every S rank, but like a big list. You can just pick an S rank. And that's pretty dope. That's not a thing that these level of gotchas tend to do. So
yeah,
I know that made
that's like a nice happy. Like thanks for hanging with us for the last year. That's like a good thing to do.
Yeah, I gotta make it a priority when 2.0 launches. I gotta get sucked back in. I gotta see what's going on in that world. I gotta get my pulls back.
Oh my god, can we just talk about polls like in a few weeks when I get into that Persona game?
Yeah,
like we'll talk about
Persona. I'll get back into.
Yeah, we can see like share
I haven't
poll stories.
Marvel Snap in like 4 months, 5 months. So I'm not going back.
Well, get back in so you can talk about polls.
Nope.
This has become a poll cast as of the end of this month. And then Nidoram with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Nidoram. While the open world of Mario Kart is cool, I'm not sure what the purpose of it is without having a campaign mode. Yeah, I'm not. I bummed around the open world a little bit, and I liked the music, and I found a couple small side quests to do. So I do not have any real opinion on it, other than I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing for people to like to fuck around in, for like kids, for parents to just give the kids a controller and just be like, you just drive around. You could just be Yoshi and drive around this country.
Quit annoying me in a doctor's office. Just go drive.
Just go fucking drive. Yeah.
I'm forgetting who made mention of this on the internet, but they had 2 daughters that they secured 2 Switches for, and they apparently wanted to run around the open world together, and that's not a thing you can easily do in this game.
That was Patrick Klepek, I believe.
Patrick Klepek, yeah.
Yeah. You can't do it like split screen easily. You have to almost like create a like an online lobby, and then the two people split screen can join the online lobby, and no one else has to join. But then there's like a waiting for other people bar at the bottom. Like it feels like a very simple thing that they should be able to fix. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you get the sense that this? Because I also saw stuff about like I cannot remember, or I never knew who was behind Mario Kart World. If there's like a single developer who people are asking questions to, but I saw interviews where they were saying how Nintendo thought it was important that they ship a fully featured game on the cart, despite it kind of being like coming from the very live servicey original game Mario Kart 8. Not that that's the original game.
Yeah.
But now that people have got their hands on it, it seems pretty empty in that regard, and that there actually might be a lot of stuff added to this over time.
I could imagine. I could also imagine like if they do a Nintendo expansion thing where it's like, oh, we've added Isle Delfino or something, and then there's like off the continent, there's like a bunch of beach themed Mario Sunshine things. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They got work to do, I think.
Nintendo, get to
on this game in particular.
Miyamoto, get back into the kitchen. Start cooking. I meant like cooking beats. I didn't mean like I wasn't trying to do like a misogynist thing to Miyamoto, which I don't know if I could be misogynist towards Miyamoto. I feel like this podcast should have ended a few minutes ago. I got thrown for a loop because Ben B is earlier in the stream and said it's blown my mind how Marty is pronouncing Lumines. And I've pronounced it Lumines my entire life. How is it pronounced? And Ben thinks it's a Lumens. Which
that can't be right.
I feel like I might be right.
Like that version is ignoring letters. Not that that's not a thing that like words have done.
Famously, knife. You ever hear that word knife? That's a crazy word. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You can make up words.
Say hi before we wrap. I had one more thing I've been watching. I've actually been watching. I started. It's actually an Amazon miniseries that I went completely under the radar, but it's actually really really good. It's called The Narrow Road to the Deep North. It's a Australian drama miniseries based on the novel by Richard Flanagan. It's kind of like
another Flanagan.
Yeah, it's a kind of a romance story set against the backdrop of World War I, and this guy that gets basically sent to a war camp in Thailand, and he has an affair with his uncle's wife.
Do that,
but it's like a really
he did that at the camp.
No, like before the camp, but it's I've only watched the first episode, but it's like really well written, extremely well shot. It has a really strong cast of characters, and already I was hooked. I was hooked after one episode. Just something really.
What's this show called?
Narrow Road to the Deep North.
Love the name. It's a good name.
Yeah, it's based on a novel, so
it's a whole book.
Things that are.
It's got Jacob Elordi. He's handsome.
Yeah, there's a lot of women that like him in the show.
He's really handsome. He was in Saltburn. He played Elvis in Priscilla. He's going to be Frankenstein in Monster and Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
A good-looking Frankenstein.
He's in Euphoria. He's probably doing drugs no. I think he's going to be ugly in Frankenstein. Or maybe he's going to be handsome. Because originally I think it was going to be Andrew Garfield. So now I'm starting to think Frankenstein's just going to be handsome.
maybe that's why he's Frankenstein's monster. Is he's better looking than everybody else.
Oh, because back then everyone was ugly, and they're just he's hideous.
They're all losing their teeth and everything, and he's got this perfectly white mouth with teeth, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah. Great. We solved it. That's a good thing. I'm gonna add that to my queue. And watch that. Hell yeah, we made it to the end of the episode. Thank you everyone who tuned in and watched this very focused but very festive episode of Firelink. As a programming reminder, we got big things coming the next couple days. Tomorrow morning, you should have a new Unpacked from Nick and Eric. Noon tomorrow, noon Central. We should be doing a Mario Kart World stream. Who's going to be on it? That's TBD, but I'll probably be there because I got one. Casey can get off work; he'll be there.
Got a Switch.
What'd you say?
Jack also just posted on our Slack that he got a Switch.
Listen, we're forming a team. We're gonna form a fucking kart team. So that should be noon tomorrow. If we figure out how to play online or open a lobby or do any of that shit, we'll invite folks in for that. And then probably around 3:45 Central tomorrow, the three of us will be back for the Summer Game Fest Live shenanigans. We'll be watching along the Keeley showcase as well as Day of the Devs and Devolver afterwards. We'll be doing our normal bingo, and we'll actually do the thing at the end of it, but we'll see. And then there's a bunch of showcases on Saturday, but I don't think we're going to be streaming them because I think a bunch of us have conflicts. But there's a bunch of indie showcases on Saturday, so you guys should watch those. But then Sunday, again, the three of us are going to be back around 11:30 or so a.m. for the Xbox showcase and the PC Gamer showcase.
Yeah,
which would be great. Just a lot of fucking games. Listen, we're getting Hollow Knight. We're getting Persona 4 remake. Pragmata is going to be officially renamed to Mega Man : Girl.
I can't wait.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be a big weekend for all of us. And then also on my front, check out Jesse Galena did a wonderful job of editing a video essay of mine on Fantasy Life and why I found the game so compelling and addicting and dangerous. So you can watch that one there. Casey, what do you got going
on? Me, not that much that I can tell you guys about, if I'm being honest. But follow me on social media, Sigma Gears 9. If I am doing anything, you'll find out there. I'll probably no, I will not tomorrow. Friday. No, I won't do anything tomorrow.
I mean, you can stream after we get done. We might get done late.
No, I'm sorry. It's going to be very busy. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. But Sunday, Super Smash Bros. No, we're not doing that because that's the thing that we just mentioned. So nothing.
They're gonna be able to see you Sunday. All the normal times. It'll just be here.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah,
I'm just not doing anything that you haven't already heard about. So there's that.
Nailed the dismount. Both ankles shattered.
I would have landed on a trampoline.
And then Nick, outside of Unpacked tomorrow morning, what should folks look forward to from you?
I'll have the second episode of that new wishlist thing we did, not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
There you go.
And that's it.
Get your fucking get your Steams open and be wishlisting games. This weekend is a big weekend for wishlisting. But yeah, that'll do it for us for Firelink episode number 70. For Eric, Nick, and Casey, this was Marty. Thank you all so much for joining. Everyone who watched live on YouTube, members of the Green Gang, folks listening on your podcast service of choice, and of course, those incredible patrons at the $5 tier and above. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.